social media giant Facebook prohibit publishers and people in Australia from sharing or viewing Australian and international news content in response to Australia's proposed media bargaining laws. In a move that has caused some amusement, Facebook also blocked its own page in Australia. The Australian government has strongly criticized the move, saying it demonstrated the immense market power of these digital social giants. So what is Australia's media bargaining law? The Australian government has unveiled its new media bargaining laws to force tech giants such as Google and Facebook to pay news outlets for their content and to enter into agreements that result in a commercial contract for showing the news contents on their platforms. The government has argued that tech giants should pay newsrooms a fair amount for their journalism, because at present news publishers get only a portion of the ad revenues generated from their content, or revenue from an agreement like for generating instant articles. However, this revenue is not stable and is dependent to a large extent on the algorithm on the two platforms, which keep changing regularly, impacting visibility and reach. Interestingly though, equally unhappy with the code, Google took the opposite approach. The company struck deals in recent days with Australia's major publishing companies, including with Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, which owns The Australian, The Daily Telegraph, and The Herald. What is Facebook's issue with the code? William Easton, managing director, Facebook Australia and New Zealand, claimed in a blog post he made a distinction between Facebook's relationship with publishers. He said, "The value exchange between Facebook and publishers runs in favor of the publishers, and for Facebook, the business gain from news is minimal." But now, new laws will work against the publishers as the Australian government has made some changes, and under the ban, Australian publishers are also restricted from sharing or posting any links on their Facebook pages. For now, Facebook will wait to see until there is more clarity on the law, and the Australian government says the code will initially focus on Google and Facebook, but could be expanded to other tech companies. What prompted Scott Morrison to reach out to Prime Minister Modi? Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has reached out to his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi for support in his fight against Facebook over a proposed law that aims to make the social media giant pay for content from media organizations. The discussion was held in the aftermath of Facebook's decision to restrict publishers and people of Australia from sharing or viewing news content on its platform. Australia is mobilizing support in its fight against Facebook, and Morrison's recent discussions with PM Modi, Canadian counterpart Justin Trudeau, French President Emmanuel Macron, and UK's Boris Johnson. Morrison told reporters on Friday that people are looking at what Australia is doing, and they are already going down this path, indicating wider support on the issue. The Australian side's move to lobby India for support is understandable, as the country is estimated to have more than 300 million Facebook users and is the tech giant's largest market worldwide. Morrison's raising of the issue with Modi was the first step of a plan to mobilize global support to stop Facebook bullying the Australian government. Morrison's government is also preparing for a long-drawn battle with the tech giant if needed. China releases alleged video of Galwan Valley clash after publicly acknowledging PLA casualties. Beijing on Friday evening released a propaganda video, alleging it to be the footage from the Galwan Valley clash in June 2020, where 20 Indian Army soldiers were martyred defending the country. The release of the video comes on a day when China's military authorities have honored 2 officers and 3 soldiers, including 4 who received the awards posthumously for defending the country's western border. The video was released by the state-run Global Times on social media platform Twitter. The Chinese Foreign Ministry accused India of exaggerating their casualty figure and distorting the truth. Ren Guoqing, a Chinese Defense Ministry spokesperson, said that the Galwan Valley skirmish in June of last year is the Indian military's responsibility, as they illegally trespassed the line of actual control, initiated the incident, and violently assaulted and attacked the Chinese military, causing casualties on both sides. Sri Lanka seeks Indian support ahead of key UNHRC sessions. During the UN Human Rights Council session in Geneva next week, Sri Lanka's record in human rights and related accountability will be probed. So now Sri Lanka has officially sought India's support for the sake of regional solidarity. The Sri Lanka core group consists of the UK, Germany, Canada, Malawi, North Macedonia, and Montenegro. The core group restates the ongoing importance of addressing Sri Lanka in the Human Rights Council. Informed by the report, the core group intends to present a resolution to promote reconciliation, accountability, and human rights in Sri Lanka. Columbage said he was expecting support from Russia and China as well. India uses envoy's visit to expose Pakistan's terror role. In a statement by the Indian Minister of External Affairs said, the visit by 24 foreign envoys to Kashmir was meant to allow the diplomats to witness the security situation, including external threats, and the campaign by Pakistan to corner India over alleged human rights violations and to expose Pakistan's support to cross-border terrorism. The government said there was an enhanced interest in the ongoing political and democratic process, including strengthening of grassroots democracy in Jammu and Kashmir. The MEA also said the visiting envoys were also made aware of the new industrial policy of Jammu and Kashmir and were invited to take part in the economic growth and development of Union territory. An European Union official said they had taken note of recent steps like election of district development councils and the resumption of 4G internet services. He further said the visit presented a chance to see the situation on ground and interact with local interlocutors as part of EU outreach to all stakeholders, and the European Union will look forward to continuing dialogue with India on this. U.S. President Joe Biden urged Europe and Asia to work together for long-term strategic competition with China. Biden said U.S., Europe, and Asia should work together to secure peace and defend the shared values and advance prosperity across the Pacific will be among the most consequential efforts to undertake, and have to push back against the Chinese government's economic abuses and coercion that undercut the foundations of the international economic system. India gives more than 10 million vaccine jabs in 34 days, second fastest after US. India administered more than 10 million doses of COVID vaccines, becoming the second fastest in the world, to cross the milestone in the fight against the global pandemic. For a country as diverse as India, this is a very big achievement, and in next few weeks, the numbers will increase. The United States took 31 days, while the United Kingdom took 56 days to surpass the 10 million vaccination mark. That's all for today. If you like this video, share the love and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think.